Hi everybody, it's Rolex here. Within the realm of possibility of Magic Finder, I try to find, the new idea or new project to do. And, I was talking about the tropical island farming. It was, quite a long time that I've been thinking about it and making theory about it and trying to find getting some watchstones and stuff like that all around across the fucking globe. Trying to get like some good watchstone for it. But at the end, I think you have to have invest into a tropical island quite a lot. You can't really do in a low tier map. I mean, you can do it, but it's not gonna be as juicy as the tower because tower has more base monsters in it because it has more floor, of the more sections of maps, so you can get way more monsters in general, and when you add more monsters into it, it's going to be even better. So I think tower is much more prominent in terms of like if you want to go all in it, and it feels good as well because you don't really need to walk into your hideout pretty much every single minute, because running tropical island, it's a pretty fast map. You will run that map like really fast even with beats on it. I did it like maybe about like 8 or 10 maps, and it didn't feel that good. I finished the map by 1 minute and 30 seconds or 2 minutes at maybe at most like 3 minutes, while tower would take me about like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, which is probably the bad thing because, well, you want to get into the next map really fast if you want to make currency out of it. Pick less stuff and then pick more efficiency and then run more efficiency, something like that, right? But the problem is because we're running Magic Find, and running Magic Find doesn't really benefit from Nemesis 3. You wouldn't run Nemesis 3 on Magic Find unless you roll some random Nemesis 3 and then you just chuck in some Nemesis map. That's pretty much how I do about the Nemesis 3. It doesn't really do anything for Magic Find, so it doesn't really increase the chance of getting a divination card, and that's the only thing I care about, which is getting divination card. Because you will get exalt, you will get currency. Like, that's not the thing you're missing. You're only missing divination card, because the divination card you can't really force it by like some sexton, right? There's no sexton like Nemesis monster drop 3 additional divination cards. There's nothing like that. So, but if you get like Nemesis 3 for a basic currency, yeah, sure, go for it. It's like absolutely worth it. And if you run Tropical Island, you're probably gonna go with Nem 3 and then like triple beyond on that map, and then just like run a Abyssal army, and that's probably the way to go if you want to. But we'll get to the result because this is just the the introductions and stuff like that. And you probably see that I'm running tower, still, because tower is probably gonna be my go-to, and I'm gonna make a series of this when it's like just adding modules and stuff like that. So right now I'm running tower tier 3 still. In 100 maps, I play about like 2 days to get into 100 map because the first day I was playing something else. I was just like running my Spectral Helix champion. I want to make a new character. I want to make a Spectral Helix champion. Still, again, and this is everything that I've been getting in the past like 100 maps. I would say that these uniques are not really that amazing, but they're quite something. They're quite rare, or they're quite hard to get, and there's something like some Krangle that is really good. And I will show you. I got like 9 nurses, as you could probably see on the screen. I forgot to remove the information text because I was just streaming as well. But the maybe like last 30 maps, last 20 maps, I would done off stream, which is this video, by the way, because I had to record a video. I don't want to get some copyright strike with the like the music and stuff like that. So I got 9 nurses in 100 map, in total 100 maps. So it's average about like 10 map you would get 1 nurses, or maybe 11 maps actually. So it is actually better than running with the before, like getting scarab. I'm gonna show you how I run with scarab. Where's my scarab? I'm running this setup, It's a little bit more juice than before, which is I'm running divination card, the rusted, all of them rusted, rusted harbinger scarab and rusted ambush. So these three are stable that you would run in any probably in any tier of your map. And then the last one you can go with something else. You can run a cartography if you kind of like lag a map drop and something like that. You can also run reliquary for just more unique drops. If you run higher tier such as tier 10, you would definitely want to try out reliquary because it's just gonna give you more chance of getting a mage blood or a hate hunter or the squire or whatever, right? But the squire can drop in tier 3, so tier 3 you could probably run reliquary as well. And tier 3 it's less of a concern of like map mods, so you would just run them pretty easy. This is like my setup. I go with Legion. I went with Legion because Legion is just easy to buy. It's very cheap. I think it's go for like 2 chaos each now. When I bought them, it would go for like 1.5 chaos or something. It was really, really cheap, but now it's going up in price. I don't know why. Maybe somebody just running it this thing. I don't know. But Legion is really, really good. Even though you get a bad layout for Legion, such as tower that we're running, it's still adding quite a bit of rare monsters into your map. And it's a consistent rare monster, so it probably gonna give you like 4 or 5 or even more, depending on the floor you're getting. If you're getting on the first floor, you're probably getting around 10 to 12 rare monsters in just one Legion. So that's like huge. And it also benefit you of getting some fragments as well, some timeless splinter. I think I got 1 Malekith already from just like running these thing in 100 maps, and then a couple of these thing. I don't think I get like timeless Templar because Templar it's rarely spawn. I don't know. And then we go into the drop. I'm gonna go to the drop first, and then going for the currency. As you can probably see, I dropped raw currency, raw exalted orb for like 14. So every 10 maps you get like 1.4 exalts, right? It's just like a broad drop or something. And then there's a chart, and I will show you setup that I go with Watchstone as well. This one, I'm going with like 6% quantity on all of them except for the Harbinger, Auspicious, which is like kind of weird because if you going with like Harbinger Scarab, you should always do Auspicious, even though it ruins your chance of getting divination cards. It's give you way too much consistent currency, and I'm gonna show you the results later, like in this stash. But we're gonna get into some of the unique drop that I get. I got a Carcass Jack, like a lot of them. I corrupt all of them. Some of them just like all of them, like except this one turned into some garbage. This one got like +2 socket of trap and mine, trap all mine gems. So they're really good. They're not a really good roll, but they +2. I guess I could sell that. Wind Ripper, 1 Wind Ripper. I probably have to divine this quite a bit and then try to double corrupt it. I still have a lot of Wind Ripper to double corrupt, by the way, so it's gonna be a lot of work. I got a core endpoint with deal no chaos damage and 28% global fist and a corruption of 57% increased spell damage. So deal chaos damage might be bad for something like a poison belt, but if you go for a PL fist, I think this is like the way to go, I guess. Maybe a flat physical damage to spell probably better than global fist, because you get a lot of global fist throughout the tree because you're running trap nodes and stuff like that, so you get a lot of increased damage. I got a 1 Wento gamble. I probably have to divine this thing. Private, what this thing is like, it's just maybe like what, like 10C or something because it's max roll. And then study must touch with like 10% quant. I don't know. This is like nothing. This is like basically like 1C, right? I got a Bisco Leech with like 5 resistance. So this is like really good for resistance, I guess. You get way too much cold resistance on the Magic Find already, right? Because your cover is gonna give cold resistance. Both Hyrule Demise and the White Fletcher gonna give the cold resistance. So you're gonna have quite a bit of cold resistance if you're not using Headhunter, obviously. You can still using Bisco's Leech for 5% quantity. So it's still good. And high risk truth with like minus lightning resistance. The other mod was like, I don't know, nobody can use the totem help. Like, what's that, right? But the corruption of purity of fire. So when I check the price of this, like purity of fire skill level 23, I think it's not really, like worth that much. It said that it's worth like 50C or something. That's like, wait, like, is anybody using this like for purity of fire? Another Sedimus touch with like 10 quant and fizz convert to lightning. I don't know. Maybe you just want to convert your little bit of a physical damage here to lightning. Grid Cools, it's kind of cool. Like it's rare to drop. Soul Taker, another one of these colon point. But this one has the flat physical damage to spell. So I think this is much better. This is much better than the 28% increase. And then the hegemony with like 5% attack speed on the corruption and unholy might, but it's chaos resistance penalty, so it's not that good. Red bait banner for extra block, and then you have like minus lightning resistance. So maybe Darkney prototype build would just like running with the red bait banner. I don't know. Jewel Foy, which is cost for malice. I don't know. I'm gonna maybe trying to corrupt these things, and 9 nurses, as I could say. And there are a couple like uniques that doesn't really matter. I put it like aside here. It's not like really cool, right? Secret of Suffering that I corrupted is like nothing. And then we go to the results. I sold something for 2x. One of them would be like the gem, and one of them was like something else. I got a 14 raw exalt and then a bunch of exalted shard that it turned into 18. So this is like 4 exalts came from purely dropping the exalted shard. And then I dropped 1 mirror shard. So it's absolutely amazing. Seeing auspicious working, it's just fun, Even if it doesn't really give mirror shard, you would take 4 exalt, consistency, right? And getting 24 ancient orb. So 24 ancient orb is pretty huge. It's pretty huge. I think because 24 ancient orb is probably because I ran with the Harbinger Scarab as well. Because in 800 maps, I got about like 80 ancient orb. 80 ancient orb in 800 maps, right? But this run, 100 maps, I got 24 ancient orb. So that's like almost, wait, is that like twice as better? Because 100 maps is getting like 10, right? So it's like almost more than twice. Like it's like 150% more already. So 150% more by just running Auspicious and Rusted Harbinger. It's very good. The Divine Orb, I spent a lot of Divine Orb. Like my Divine Orb is like running out now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I got like Sacred Orb as well, but nobody really care about that. So in the total, like, I don't know, like what was this stats with? Like maybe like 30x, like because this one 11x, and then this is 20, so it's like 30 something, and then some random stuff, probably around like 35, 40 exalts within 100 maps, which is when you divide it down, within 100 maps, right? When you divide it down, you would get about, what's that, like 40 divided by 100? Like 0.4 exalts per map? Is that what it cares? Yeah, probably that, right? 0.4 exalts per map, but this is with the mirror shot. If you cut the mirror shot down, you get like 0.3 exalts per map. So it's not that bad. You're not spending 0.3 exalts. I think 0.3. What's a 0.3 exalts anyway? 0.3 exalts is almost 0.5, so it's almost like 80C. So getting around like maybe like 55C, 60C. Yeah, about 55C per map, like just by collecting currency. And then there's unique drops, and then the nurse drop. So you're definitely never gonna run out of currency doing this thing, ever. If you're doing it, like, even if you're doing the dumb, you're never gonna lose currency doing this. And with my setup on my filter, I hide a lot of things, a lot of things, and I start picking up, like going back, stopping up scouring, because I'm started running out of scouring. That's why I'm picking it up. But yeah, when I get to like about like 3K mark, I will stop picking it up again, because picking up a lot of stuff will usually make you lose currency on, in the long term, because you spend more time means you spend more time in map, you spend more time not doing a killing thing, not getting more exalts. You don't not having more chance of dropping exalted orb. That's pretty much what it is. I'm still picking up the alteration if it has like stack size of 3 or more, I think. So because alteration is very, very good, I can just roll the Watchstone. Like if I lucky, if I have time, I would just roll Watchstone for me, for my own self, and then doing stuff like this. So the setup would be like 6% quantity of all the other one, and then the Harbinger has the area drop rare value currency charge, right? So this is just, I think it's mandatory for you if you want to, sustaining your currency. But if you just want to go all in getting divination card, I think just go for like maybe just 6% all of them, 6% quant all of them, or you can go with like what is this, like increased effect of non-unique maps. That's also work, but increased effect of non-unique map has a little bit of problem if you're running a higher tier map, because you will never freeze monsters. Like if you get like mod that like has chance to avoid ailment, you would never freeze them. And when you never freeze them, then there's no point of using Wind Ripper. So you probably want to change Wind Ripper when you're doing those maps into some more like generic damage types bow. Pretty much, right? So if you're running higher tier maps and you're running with like increased non-effect of increased effect of non-unique maps, it's still it will be like the same thing. It will be like the same as 6% increased quantity if you're running a map with more than 120% quality base. Like this map, like 124, 139% quality. So these things scale by the increased effect as well. So when you have like 4% increase, that means you're getting 4 extra percent of quantity, and then you also have the what is this, another 30%, 39% there. So 4% of 39, 40, it's about like 2. So you get about 6%, right? So it's not 2, but it's like 1 point something. So you get about like 6% still. So it's exactly the same if you're running it with like a high quant map. It's exactly the same as the that's what I'm using. But what I'm using, it's very cheap. Like it's super cheap. It's cheaper than getting a 4% increase effect of non-unique maps, because like if you get those 4, it's gonna cost you like a lot. So if you want to go for more expensive routes and running more quantity map, because more quantity usually means more pack size, you can do the effect of non unique map, because it also increasing the pack size. So it's like, yeah, it's also give you a quantity, and it's give you a pack size, so it's much better than running with 6% quant. But 6% quant is pretty cheap. Like I bought like these, like one of these, like 3 of these was like for like 2 exalt each. I roll one of them myself. I think I roll like like this one, because it's just like like influence monsters. I have like 4% chance to drop action rare weapon. I never really show on my fielder because it's like tier 3, right? So yeah, maybe in the future, maybe in like a high tier investment, I would probably try to run with like a 4% increase effect of non-unique map. But for now, it's gonna be like 6% quantity, because I don't want to spend that much onto the map itself. I'm gonna try to upgrade my character, because the next video, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do 100 maps of just adding modules into my map section, which is gonna be annoying for me. But at least you'll see the point of like when you're adding more juice into your map, you'll get more reward. You get more income. But this is better than just run lower tier one and just like be shelling in your map. Yeah, I think it's absolutely worth it. That's the way I enjoy playing the game. I don't want to just micromanaging like all these random things, but I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna make a video about it, talking about it, because it's going up in investment. It's pretty much worth it. They always worth it in Path of Exile. It's always worth it. But the problem is you have to micromanaging a lot, and you probably need a strong character to do a high tier maps as well. So the next part, I'm going to do the tier 10 version of this map, which is skip tier 6, right? Why do I skip tier 6? Because tier 6 is a freaking yellow map already, and your yellow map, you can roll the same modifier as a tier 10, but it's get less reward, because a tier 6 map, you can't really get you can't really get Mage Blood or a Headhunter from random monsters. You have to get it from rare monsters, which is a small amount in map, by the way. Compared to like a white monsters and a blue monsters, gray monster is not existed like in tier 6. So tier 6, I skip tier 6. I will go to tier 10 tower, which I probably have like 2 here. I would try to get all the tower map myself, because I don't want to buy map. I never will buy map if the map I will farm, right? If I will farm the map myself, I will never buy that map. But if I just buy for completion, yes, I do buy that map. But I never buy like in bulk, like 60 maps of tower. No, that's not my thing. That's just like annoying to do. And it's so expensive as well. So the thing is, I have a lot of character. I can play a lot of character. I can play other character to get my maps. So I can play something else to get maps and then just start running the Magic Find thing. Or I can just run this character in a tier 10, a different tier 10, and get my map. That's how I want to do it. So there's going to be a lot of setup, and I will try to get it up before the stream, because I want to stream it as well. So I mean, this video is gonna be be delay for more than the stream will actually go. But yeah, so the next part is going to be a tier 10 maps, and it's definitely gonna be a lot more juice than this one. So thanks you guys for watching, and I'm probably gonna run the polished version of Scarab as well. So it's gonna be a lot more of investment. I will try to figure out the investment as well on the this version of the map, and I don't know, maybe it's it's up by from before I would do 10C per map. Now it was probably around, I don't know, like 35C per map, because the rusted one, does rusted scarab, it still costs money. These things about like, what is this thing cost? About like 8 chaos for like divination card scarab, and harbinger is also like 5C or something. Yeah, 6C, 8C, 2C, so it's like about 20. Yeah, it's about 25C per map. You would spend like 25C per map, like on this budget, this level of budget, but you would never run out of map, because tier 3 map is really hard, really easy to sustain. So that's just my thoughts. If you want to just start it out like with just a couple things, you could just go back and watch my Magic Find to Headhunter series. You can start it out with that, because that thing can get you a Headhunter within like 5 days or even less. Just no investment at all. Like, you just run with like garbage character. If you don't like upgrading your character throughout the map session, you can just stick with like whatever you start with, and then you just go all in until you get a Headhunter. That you can do it within like maybe 3 days. If you cut out the squad that I dropped, I think it would take like a little bit more, maybe like 2 days more, in terms of farming, maybe about like 300 or 400 more maps to get a Headhunter. That's gonna be it, guys. And if you just started out for a Magic Finder, I recommend you just go watch my Magic Finder Headhunter series, or even watching in Ultimatum version as well, because in Ultimatum version is actually better because it has resistance, and the character is much tankier than the what is this, like the this one, because this one it's just like I'm just go die, because I have cast on death, and I don't care about dying with this one. I just want as much quantity as possible. And it's not as fast because you're running Grease Embrace, you're reducing movement speed of yourself, and that's pretty much it. And see you on the next one. Bye bye.